This is actually the second time I'm making this video. I got up after 3 hours of sleep after a night shift, and I made a video doing this and realized afterwards that it was an absolute piece of shit, so I decided to redo it. What I'm going to show you today is how to put in a light kit on a motorcycle. Very simple. It can look a little daunting. I'm going to walk you through the steps as quickly as I can without trying to go into too much detail, because again, it's pretty simple. I'll show you the basics of how to set up an electrical circuit, and yeah, just jump right into it. So this is how to set up a light kit on a motorcycle for like 20 bucks. So it's about 7 o'clock. It's not nighttime yet, but it's getting darker, and I'll show you here. There's the little button that I put in, and that's what my light kit looks like now. Okay, so that's the end product. Like I say, I actually took a video while doing this, but it turned out to be absolute crap, so I'm going to go into how this was all done. So to start, you can figure out where you want to put the actual lights. See, I have some right there. Oh, wait. Shoot, okay, there. See, those are the lights right here. Okay, you can tell I had the adhesive strips that's on the back, but I also secured it with a zip tie. Okay, now the big thing is with the wires, you want to try and hide them as much as possible. Keep them away from things that are hot, like your engine block, right? But you see I have wires that are hidden here, and unless you're really looking for them, you won't be able to tell. I also have a set of lights right underneath my gas tank there. Actually, it's a little easier if I just turn them on, because you can't even see them, right? Can't see them? There they are. Can't see them? Oh, now you can. Okay, so you still have the self-adhesive strip, but with these ones, I end up getting a heat-resistant type of bonding material just off of my father-in-law. It was something for like barbecues. Anyway, so that I have a strip underneath there along that bar, and along a bar right in here underneath. And again, those just have zip ties. Then I just added a little extra bond. You can use anything. You could even use epoxy, but I use stuff that I could peel off if I wanted to. So anyway, so you have the placement. Like, you could put them inside your fender well. You can put them anywhere. Just look on Google for pictures of examples to figure out where you want to put them. Hide your wires, and then I'll go into schematics of how to do this. You see, these are little crimping tools. I'll show you how to use those in a second. But you see how this one has 3 going into 1, and then you have 1 coming out. I'll go into that in a second, okay? So you see you have some that have multiples and some that just have 1, and I'll go into the reason for that all in just a moment. And then you have coming off, you have your positive and your negative. Think positive always has surplus. Positive always goes through your system into your negative, where there's a minus, right? So a deficit. So that's how you know your the movement of the electrons providing the electricity. And then this is just the little connection there and there in order to make a full circuit. And like I say, I'll go into the whiteboard instructions on how to quickly wire that up. So these are basically all the tools you'll need in order to do all this. So this is what goes onto the battery. So you just hook your wire up into there, and you crimp it the same way you use the butt connectors. So these are butt connectors, and this is what connects a wire to a wire. Basically, you just strip that off. You can do it with a knife, or you can use a stripping tool like this. So you strip off a little piece, put that in there until you see how there's metal in there. Okay, that's how it actually connects, is metal to metal, right? So you hook that up there, then you get your other wire, and you strip that, you put that in there, and then with your little crimping tool, which is this little section right there, you open it up, you literally set it in that little groove right here, and then you crimp it Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to smush the metal so that it can't move, and then you can use a little bit of electrical tape in order to secure that. So basically, that's how you connect the butt connectors. Then you have any kind of on-off switch. Like you see, I used a different type. Mine's just a push in, push out, but you could use any of these. Anyway, this one has a neutral, which you don't need. So most just have the two, which is the positive and the negative. And this is the remote control that actually came with it. And I didn't feel the need to actually use it. And due to the fact that remote control receiver is always going to be on, so it's always going to be draining your battery a little bit, and after like a month or two, if you don't run your bike, your battery's dead. So basically, this I found was to be well, just not worth it. And you can still hook it up, and I'll show you how to later, but you'll see the red, the black, the red and black on each end. I'll go into that in a second. So that's basically it with these simple items that you can get at any Canadian Tire. I already had everything because I play around with electrical stuff quite frequently. You could probably buy all of this. You can get this cheap. You can get wire for like a couple of bucks. You can get that off eBay for like 50 cents. You can get this and that for like maybe $2, $3 each. Anyway, with all that, you can hook it all up yourself. So I'll show you how. So what I'm doing there is actually just connecting the button with some zip ties to the to just a random piping that I had found in there that was far enough away from the engine. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. Whenever it comes to LED lights, it doesn't really matter the flow of your positive to negative. It does normally whenever you're dealing with other normal types of lights. So I recommend doing positive to negative just for like good habit's sake. So anyway, what I'm going to show you is how to do a full electrical circuit with multiple lights, okay? It's actually quite simple. So I'm going to use this purple to represent the lights, because the lights are purple, and I'm only going to use 2 lights for simplicity's sake rather than the 4 that I have on the motorcycle. You can put as many as you want, really. LED lights draw very little electricity. So anyway, black is always negative, okay? So the negative symbol on the battery, black, try and make sure that they are connected to one another, okay? So what you do is you take the black from each light, okay? I'll put it on the like closest just for simplicity's sake. Then you're gonna strip those, right? Then you're gonna take one of those butt connectors like I told you, right? And then you put 2 ends in one butt connector, okay? Then you seal, you crimp it so that it's sealed. And then you take 1 wire out, and I recommend using the same color like black so that you can always identify what wire is what, okay? So you do that, and that's how you turn 2 wires into 1. Say you had a whole bunch, you could do multiple butt connectors and just bring it down, bring it down, bring it down until you have just 1 wire, right? You could do like run them in parallel, right? If you know what that means. Anyway, for simplicity's sake, we're just doing 2 lights, okay? So then you're going to take the red one. I only have pink here. So anyway, pink is going to be positive. So you're going to take the pink one and you're going to do the exact same thing, okay? It's going to just cross over here. And then you take that butt connector. And then, bam, you got yourself your 2 wires, okay? Always use as many, use a little bit longer wire. You can always just wrap it up and use a tie wrap in order to minimize how much you have left over. But anyways, you always want a little bit more wire than what you need. Okay, so now that's how you use the butt connectors to tie 2 lights in, 4 lights in, whatever, into just having 2 wires, okay? So that's what you saw like underneath the seat. Now I'm going to draw the battery. Let's draw the battery over here. Okay, so here's your battery with your 2 ends. one's positive, one's negative, okay? So this is very simple. You need to have a complete circuit going from positive all the way through your lights and then back into negative, okay? So what you do is, I recommend you put your, at some point, if you were to just take your negative to there, your positive to there, it would turn on and it would always stay on, okay? Your remote would be able to turn it on and off. Your switch is going to be what turns it on and off, okay? Inside of a switch is literally just two metal pieces that are held separated until you click it, bam. Now they're touching each other, and that is what creates that full circuit. Then the electricity can run through it. So that's all that switch is, okay? It's open, closed, open, closed. Closed means that electricity can run through it because they're two metal pieces are touching. So anyway, you would take your negative and you would attach it like so, okay? Right to the battery, okay? Because what you want to do is you want to put your switch, okay, in between the positive, because the positive is going to be where the electricity first starts to flow through, the electrons. So if you put the switch as close to the positive as possible, less likely, like if you had a break in here and that was touching metal, it could short it out, okay? So you have less chance of something shorting out because you have it coming from the positive. I know that sounds confusing, but it's not, okay? Electricity's starting to come here, so you might as well keep put the cutoff as close to the positive as possible, because that's where it's all starting, okay? So basically, let's use blue for the switch, okay? That's my little switch that I have that turns it on and off, and it's got a positive and a negative line. You literally just take the one positive, goes to one end, and the other one goes to here. That's it. It is that simple, okay? So by doing this, and whenever you click it and it's on, okay, you have completed the circuit. It runs through the switch because it's touching. Then it runs through your lights. Okay, see, it's going to go through here, and then it's going to come back out through here, through the butt connectors, and back into your battery. So that's how you hook up your light system, as simple as possible. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop a question or comment in the comment section below. Feel free to subscribe. It's cool. I only have 6 subscribers, but it feels awesome. I love doing these little projects, and I'm going to keep posting them from time to time whenever I do them. I'm just doing this as a hobby, so I'm not doing this for money or anything like those big YouTubers out there. So I really appreciate any and all comments on these kind of things that I do. So really enjoyed this project. The bike looks awesome at night. So if you have 20 bucks, go on eBay, get yourself a light kit. It's really hard to not see the value in something when it's so cheap and it adds so much flair on your bike. So it is still possible to have that remote control effect if you want it. So basically all you would have to do is open up your circuit, basically just cut the wire, strip them, and with the butt connectors, put in your receiver that I'd shown you, the receiver that I gotten in the mail with it. So basically red to red, red to red, black to black, black to black, and then as long as you have the foresight to turn it on before you leave your bike so that you can use your remote, like while you're in Tim Hortons having a coffee and you want to be able to show off your bike from afar, you turn that on, bam, your remote control works. So guys, this is extremely rewarding to be able to do something like this on your own, so I highly recommend taking it on as a challenge and not spend the hundreds of dollars somebody else would charge you to do this. Like I say, this whole thing took me about maybe 2 hours and saved me at least $200. So highly recommend it. Even a novice could do this. So everyone, good luck with all your projects, and leave comments and questions in the comment question section below. I love to hear from you.